Hey guys, and what's up? Welcome to my first video of this sort, where I'm gonna be talking in my real voice. I hope you guys can understand me because my English is not the best. So yeah, today I'm gonna be showing you how to build my Tornado Pro. I'm gonna do a tutorial, and I'm gonna try to explain everything as good as possible. Okay, now we're gonna be starting with the components inside. First of all, you're obviously gonna need an ESP32, which you can see right here. You can see it a little closer. Has these pins at the bottom. This is the main chip, and this USB-C port is for programming. I got mine from AZ Delivery. Shout out to them. It's a pretty good brand. I got a few different products from them, including the ESP and a screen, which I have not installed right now, but I have the option to. These cables are for a screen, so I can connect it. And yeah, let's continue. Then you're gonna need a battery. This one I just took out of a power bank. I just disassembled it, and this is the main power delivering board, which you can see I plugged a USB-C cable, USB-A to C. I just plugged it in and shoved the battery in there, and then the cable goes from the USB-A port all the way here, but I haven't really connected it right now because then the whole thing would power on, and yeah, I just haven't powered it on right now. So yeah, basically the shroud, or basically the case of where you put all of the components in. And this is the great thing that you see here. It's entirely designed by me, and maybe I'm gonna put out the file for it somewhere, but I don't really know right now if I'm gonna do that. But if I do, I will let you guys know. And yeah, let's continue. Second thing you're gonna need is an BME 280 or 680. You can decide for yourself which one is cheaper or better for your uses. You can see it right here. There is also a smaller one which I have in my other probe, but it's built in really tightly, so I can't really show it to you right now. But it's basically a lot smaller and compacter than this one. But this does the job, so yeah, that's pretty okay. Then you're gonna want an SD card reader, which you can just connect to the ESP as well, because you obviously need to store the data somewhere, so you can just access it later and don't have to rely on the Wi-Fi stream to your phone, which is obviously gonna get disconnected when you get further away from it. And this is just a really simple one. It just connects to the ESP, and then it's with the code that I can control it, and yeah, it just gets saved to it, and I can access it later on my PC. And then the final part is going to be an AirTag or a GPS tracker, which you can just buy and then shove it somewhere in the probe. And if you lose reception or the probe gets lifted, then you can track it later and you can find it easily. It works really well. I've had to rely on it many times, and it's always saved my ass. And yeah, it's just a really great thing to have, and I can really recommend it. That's basically all of the electronic parts done, and then you just need to assemble it. And I'm just gonna give you a quick rundown on how to connect it. So when you're ready and have all of the electronics laid out in front of you, you're going to want to connect the VCC pin from the BME 680 to the 3.3 volt output on your ESP. Then the ground on the BME, you're obviously going to want to connect to ground on the ESP. That's really easy. The SDA port or pin on your BME has to connect to the GPIO 21 pin on the ESP, and the SCL pin on the BME has to connect to the GPIO 22 pin. And that's all of the pins from the BME. And the SD card reader, you're gonna wanna connect the VCC port again to 3.3 volts. This is important again because otherwise you're gonna fry it. Ground to ground, the MOSI pin from the SD card reader, you're gonna wanna connect to the GPIO 23 port on the ESP. The MISO pin from the SD card reader has to go to GPIO 19 on the ESP. The SCK from the SD card reader has to go to the GPIO 18 pin, and the CS pin has to go to GPIO5, and that's all done. And then you're basically ready to get your probe outside, and yeah, you can record data with it. The important thing is that you have to get the right code, which I'm probably gonna put out at some point, so you can just copy that code and get the exact same results as me. So yeah, that was basically all. Let me know if you want the code or the print files for the probe in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe so I can make more content like this. Thank you guys for the support, and bye bye.